Making headlines this hour, President Dr. Mohammad Moise recognizes the top exhibitors of the Maldives Expo 2025. The Maldives strongly denounces an attack. Police service puts in motion plans to switch its headquarters to Hulumale.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiza Sattar. Now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Moise recognizes the top exhibitors of the Maldives Expo 2025. The award ceremony held at the Maldives Center for Social Education brought together innovators, artisans and entrepreneurs in a celebration of national identity. Presiding over the event, President Moise commended the winners for their contributions to creativity and craftsmanship.
Among the honorees, 5 exhibitors received the Distinguished Gold Prize, the ceremony's highest recognition: Lujain Ali Wahid, Abudi Maldives, Maldives Polytechnic, Mohammad Musa and Ali Mahir. Recognition was extended across 9 competition categories, acknowledging the diversity of talent across the country. Lujain Ali Wahid was awarded first place in the individual category, while Willingili Council in Gaf Alif et al. And Addo City Council earned top honors in the island and city categories respectively. CDC Kitchen Private Limited secured the business category award, and the Maldives Polytechnic was named the winner in the education center category. In the People with Disabilities category, Fatmat Shafagat was recognized for her contributions, underscoring the importance of inclusive participation. The ceremony also highlighted institutions and organizations instrumental in driving national development. The Women Entrepreneurs Association Maldives WEAM was awarded in the Non-Governmental Organization NGO category, and State Electric Company Limited Stelco received recognition in the State-Owned Enterprises category. Hitadu in Addo City secured first place in the City Island Participation category, listed as City Level Participation first place, while Addo City was celebrated as the overall winner of Expo 2025. A total of 275 awards were presented during the evening. The event serves as a broader platform to showcase Maldivian creativity and entrepreneurship, drawing 383 participants across 14 categories and 82 subcategories. Handcrafts accounted for the largest share of submissions, reflecting a continued tradition of artisanal excellence. Contributions came from across the country, with Mali City and Tuladu in Baitol submitting the highest number of entries. More than 3,600 items underwent evaluation before the exhibition, with over 3,500 products expected to be featured. The decision to host Maldives Expo 2025 was formally approved by President Moise on 19th May 2024 following a cabinet recommendation. Officials highlighted the Expo's role in stimulating national productivity and economic growth, providing a space for both traditional craftsmanship and modern innovation to be celebrated and sustained. Participation began in November 2024, facilitated by the Business Center Corporation BCC, which has overseen the event's organization.
The Maldives government strongly denounces an attack by Israeli occupation forces on a diplomatic delegation visiting Jenin in the occupied West Bank, calling the incident a serious breach of international law and diplomatic protections. In a statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the government described the attack as deeply concerning and urged the international community to respond decisively. The statement said the targeting of diplomats who are protected under the 1961 Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations constitutes a serious breach of Israel's obligations under international law and undermines the integrity of diplomatic engagement. The Maldives urged governments worldwide to take concrete action to ensure accountability. It also stressed the need for stronger protections for diplomatic personnel in accordance with international conventions and norms. Israeli soldiers opened fire on a group of foreign diplomats during their visit to Jenin, sending them scrambling for cover. The delegation, composed of representatives from the European Union, Arab and Asian nations, had traveled to Jenin on Wednesday to assess the humanitarian situation as Israel's military offensive entered its fourth month, causing widespread casualties and displacement, according to Al Jazeera. Footage circulating on social media shows delegation members speaking to reporters when sudden gunfire forced them to abandon their interviews and rushed to their vehicles. The Palestinian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates also condemned the attack in the strongest possible terms, describing it as a deliberate assault on an accredited diplomatic delegation. Officials across Europe and the Arab world swiftly issued statements denouncing the incident, calling for accountability and demanding formal explanations from Israeli authorities. Minister of State for Economic Development and Trade, Abdullah Siaz, says President Dr. Mohamed Moises' government is working to develop the Maldivian Creativity Exhibition into an event of international standard, with the event being expanded year on year. After a 6-year hiatus, the exhibition is scheduled to resume on Friday, 23rd May. The exhibition is a part of the government's efforts to further strengthen the diversify the Maldives economy under President Moises' leadership. The exhibition is organized by the government with the aim of fostering creativity, productivity, and promoting local trade. The Business Center Corporation (BCC) is conducting the exhibition under the guidance of the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade. State Minister Siaz said the exhibition will include both a competition section and a product exhibition section. Over 3,000 products will be exhibited in the competition category, and a large number of items will be exhibited in the exhibition category as well, he said. He said President Moises' policy is to expand the exhibition year by year and take it to an international level. The exhibition will feature a large number of products from all the atolls of the Maldives across 81 categories, spanning 15 fields. The exhibition will be held at Central Park in Hulumale. The media awareness program, Helunteri Media, kicked off in Kaf Atoll. The program is attended by employees of the island councils, journalists, and members of several non-governmental organizations. The program will be held from 22nd to 23rd May in Tulustu, Kaf Atoll. The 2-day training program was attended by 23 participants from Tulustu, Diffushi, Himmafushi, Hura, Guri, and Mafushi. The Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts said the wide range of topics covered include journalism, journalistic ethics, types of journalism and types of writing, the role of journalists in the development of the country, investigative journalism, journalistic terminology, original news content, and AI-generated news. Last year, a similar media awareness program was conducted for higher education students and journalists in Ado City and Formula City, which was attended by 28 participants. Government initiates discussions to explore ways to extend more funding and support for civil society organizations, CSOs, in the Maldives. The discussions were held between the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts and the Ministry of Social and Family Development. During the meeting, discussions were held on increasing government support and cooperation to private CSOs that are actively advocating in key areas such as women's rights, children's rights, mental health, and family planning. The government in May last year announced a new initiative to provide financial assistance to CSOs for community empowerment projects. The program aims to offer not only financial support but also technical expertise and access to the government resources. The initiative's central purpose is to enhance the role of financial organizations in national development by organizing and supporting their efforts in community empowerment and societal development. Maldives Police Service MPS puts plans in motion to switch its headquarters from the capital Male to the reclaimed suburb Holumale. The agreement for the new headquarters was signed during a ceremony on May 22nd between MPS and Housing Development Corporation (HDC). Deputy Commissioner of Police Ismail Naveen signed the agreement on behalf of MPS, while Managing Director Mauroof Jamil signed the agreement on behalf of HDC. Police, however, have not disclosed any further information about the project or the agreement. The Shahid Hussain Adam building is now used as the police headquarters. This building was opened in 1999 and was first used by the police and the Maldives National Defence Force (MNDF). The building was dedicated to MPS after the police and MNDF was split as a separate service. 4 decades ago, Hiroko Suzuki's father threads the needle of a U.S. trade war by pushing the family auto parts business into new products. Now, tariffs imposed by the Trump administration are so sweeping, they threatened her own attempt to diversify the 78-year-old company into medical devices.
Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has called the U.S. tariffs, including 25% on automobiles, a national crisis for the world's fourth largest economy. Japan's top trade negotiator, Ryoshi Akazawa, is headed to Washington on Friday, May 23rd, for a third round of talks. For Suzuki's Kyowa Industrial, a maker of prototype parts and race car components, and for Japan, things couldn't be more different from the trade friction of the 1980s. Today, Japan is no longer dominant in chips and consumer electronics and is resilient on an auto industry that faces intense Chinese competition. The worry is evident at companies like Kyowa, which employs 120 people and is based in Takasaki, north of Tokyo, and which was among 6 auto suppliers that told Reuters they were concerned about their ability to navigate the trade war. Toyota, Nissan, and Ford sent letters to the U.S. arms of some Japanese suppliers early last month asking for cooperation in the face of U.S. tariffs, according to copies reviewed by Reuters, without offering specifics. The letters haven't been previously reported. In its letter, Toyota said it understood the complexity and financial burden some suppliers are facing and asked suppliers to identify and share mitigation measures. Toyota would work with suppliers in good faith, it said. Nissan told suppliers they should stick to previously agreed prices. It said it was not obliged to bear the costs of tariffs, but that it would shoulder some of the hit for up to 4 weeks to help secure its supply chain. It added that it could later seek to recover any support payments to suppliers. Reuters couldn't determine how much support, if any, Nissan extended. The automakers haven't sent follow-up letters, according to 2 suppliers who allowed Reuters to review the correspondence on condition of anonymity. Nissan told Reuters it was working with suppliers to mitigate the tariff impact and contain costs, including through localization. Toyota said it would seek to protect its suppliers, dealers, and employees while maintaining customers' trust as it navigated the uncertainty created by the tariffs. Ford told Reuters it was working with suppliers to assess their exposure and potentially reconfigure processes and sourcing. Kyowa and tens of thousands of other small manufacturers comprise an auto supply network that has for decades pursued a monozukuri, literally making things approach to production. That culture of incremental improvement and a production line efficiency based on the methods of market leader Toyota helped turn Japan into a global powerhouse.
Palestinians carries out rescue efforts in Gaza's Jabalia following an Israeli strike which killed and wounded several people.
Israel has stepped up its military operation in Gaza since early May, saying it is seeking to eliminate Hamas military and governing capabilities and bring back remaining hostages seized in October 2023. Local health authorities said Israeli airstrikes killed at least 50 Palestinians across Gaza on May 22nd. Israel launched its genocidal campaign in Gaza in response to the Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. The campaign has since killed more than 53,600 Palestinians, according to Gaza health authorities, and devastated the coastal strip, where aid groups say signs of severe malnutrition are widespread.
The United Nations rights chief urges for warring sides in South Sudan to pull back from the brink, warning that the human rights situation risks further deterioration as fighting intensifies.
Since May 3rd, fighting has intensified, with OHCHR citing reports to indiscriminate aerial bombardments and river and ground offensives by the South Sudan People's Defense Forces (SSPDF) on Sudan People's Liberation Army positions in part of Fangak in Jonglei State and in Tonga County in Upper Nile.
High Commissioner Volker Turk is urging all parties to urgently pull back from the brink and to uphold the 2018 peace agreement. He is also calling on all parties to protect civilians and civilian objects and to facilitate humanitarian access in line with their obligations under international law. We are warning today about a real risk of a further deterioration in the already dire human rights situation in South Sudan. This follows a sharp increase in hostilities between the South Sudan People's Defense Forces and the Sudan People's Liberation Army in opposition and their respective allied fighters.
The agency said at least 75 civilians were killed and 78 others injured by the fighting, which displaced thousands from their homes between May 3rd to 20th. It added that civilians' populated areas have been targeted, including a medical facility operated by Doctors Without Borders (MSF).
Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah collects the Football Writers Association Men's Player of the Year award for the third time, while Arsenal striker Alexia Russo took home the Women's Award at a ceremony in London.
Salah, the second player to claim the award 3 times after former Arsenal striker Thierry Henry, leads the Premier League scoring chart with 28 goals this season, helping Liverpool win their second league title since he joined in 2017. Egypt international Salah's teammate Virgil van Dijk was second in the poll, ahead of Newcastle United's Alexander Isak and Arsenal's Declan Rice.
To be fair, like winning the Premier League and had that impact in the team, I think I said that before last week. I never felt that happy or happiness in the club like that moment when we win the Premier League against Spurs, because you have that impact and the numbers of goals and assists, and winning the Premier League after that great players left and a good manager left. So it's so special, because I came to the season and I was like, okay, will I be able to do it again? I had that conversation with myself. Will I be able to do it again? Then I say, okay, let's find out. But just like you need to work hard, you need to set the example. And yeah, I think I did it very good.
England striker Russia's Arsenal forward Mariona Caldente was third in
the small Swiss village of Moulins.
Meaning White Tower is the Swiss ETH Zurich, and the Origin Cultural Foundation showcases advanced 3D printed tower. Designed to serve as a cultural hub, the tower aims to revitalize the village, which is home to just 11 residents and faces depopulation. The structure, built without traditional framework, features 32 sculptured concrete columns created through robotic additive manufacturing or 3D printing. A novel concrete mixture and a new reinforcement method developed by ETH researchers enable the tower's load-bearing capacity.
We really managed to integrate the reinforcement in the 3D printed concrete such that it actually works like conventional reinforced concrete, although by its nature it's quite different. On the material side, it's the mix that we're using, which is a 3-component mix where we add a viscosity enhancer and an accelerator to the pumped mortar only at the nozzle. So the viscosity enhancer keeping the concrete from flowing just down, and the accelerator ensuring sufficient strength build-up until the printhead returns, and then also for the subsequent layers of concrete so that the structure doesn't collapse. And the third is on the robotic level, where we managed to achieve a fully robotic integration of the transverse interlayer reinforcement during the print process. So collaboration of the printing robot with the reinforcement placing robot. I think that's the 3 main innovations.
The design, resembling an ornated layered cake, pays homage to the region's history of confectioners. Tor Alva, located at the Julia Pass near St. Mortis, will open for guide tours on May 23rd. The tower is set to remain in Mullens for 5 years before potential relocation. The developers says the project highlights innovative construction and aims to boost sustainable tourism in the region.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.